These are black mother and son who fled to China. The mother forced the boy to greet others in Chinese. The boy really didn't want to do that. Then the boy seemed to muster up his courage to say a word. How are you?
Hello sir, how are you?
I'm Detroit, USA, kid. It's more embarrassing than this. Bit of courage being used by the wrong person. The boy didn't want to go to China.
He thought that all the things in China were second-hand.
And couldn't see the old alleys in Beijing. But he couldn't change it. When the plane landed, the prosperity in front of him made the boy completely change his view of China. So he mustered up the courage to integrate into this place. First he went to the hero of China. That's Uncle Long. And wanted to learn to communicate a bit. But at this time, this Uncle Long just ate instant noodles, smashed the fly, and picked up the dead fly with chopsticks. Then he continued to eat noodles with chopsticks. The boy was frightened by Uncle Long's disgusting behavior. Immediately turned and left. Then he went to the volleyball court. When he first arrived,
he was about to show off his talent.
Unexpectedly, because he showed so much confidence.
He threw the ball out onto the court. He can't bear to face the others.
So he turned and left. When he left,
he seemed to see hope.
Two men playing table tennis are raising their hands towards him. In his heart he thought it was fun to catch this ball. And these old men, can it be solved in a few minutes?
He raised his head confidently.
I'm only 12 years old. As a result, the old man beat him to defeat. A life full of skepticism and curiosity. There's no way. In the end he could only go find a girl to talk to. Do a dance on his own. Can make the opposite person look at him with different eyes. As a result, he was beaten, causing his face to hit the ground, and he immediately rose to protest. The enemy rushed in and beat him up.
Since then, he has not dared to show his talent anymore.
He provoked this delinquent boy and was often bullied. So he wants to learn martial arts.
He didn't want to bow his head like that.
Every day, the boy learned the tricks on TV. He walked on the street. When he suddenly saw the admissions announcement of the martial arts school,
he immediately went in and wanted to register.
But luck does not come so easily. The unruly boy was also a student of this martial arts school. The boy's hopes were completely extinguished, but he didn't want to be dominated by fear.
His stubborn personality
prompted him to take revenge.
He was silently following the unruly boy.
While he was proudly demonstrating martial arts in front of others,
he poured a basin of dirty water on the unruly boy. How could a ferocious boy stand this?
Immediately chased after it, the boy quickly ran away. And the other boy also ran like hell chasing.
He immediately hid in a house and locked the gate.
The unruly boy climbed over the wall and jumped in. He's stuck at a dead end. The delinquent boy immediately attacked. Just as the punch was about to land on this boy's face,
someone appeared. He took the arrogant boy's hand.
It turned out that Uncle Long had arrived in time, but the children did not know how to measure their own strength. Took action against Uncle Long. This may be the weakest opponent that Uncle Long has encountered. These children have been learning the basic martial arts for a few years. But they dare to act against him. Uncle Long left his hand but still loved it. But the delinquent boy was full of anger.
Refused to let go.
Uncle Long had no choice but to give them a lesson. A move that made the children all return home to find their mother. Uncle Long looked at the injured boy with pity. Uncle Long treated the boy using his ancestral heirloom. Then lead the boy to find the unruly boy's master to talk about the truth. There he saw that the unruly boy's master turned out to be Uncle Long's second brother. Of course the ferocity of the unruly boy was taught by Uncle Long's second brother. Uncle Long wanted to make peace with the second brother but could not. That year, the second brother could beat everyone.
How could he bear it when his disciple was taught by others?
Because of the threat, the opponent had to accept the martial arts to let it go. Uncle Long had no choice.
He's old and didn't want to show up anymore.
After negotiating, they decided to have the two disciples duel in a martial arts competition. The boy became his disciple since then.
Since then Uncle Long has been very strict with him.
Uncle Long told the boy to pick up his coat from the ground. Then hung it up, put it on. Then took it off again.
Such consecutive actions, he did all day long in heat and rain.
The boy did so day and night. Finally, one day, the boy didn't have to do that anymore.
He thought that his master was training his character.
But there was always only one move.
He couldn't take it anymore.
So he picked up his coat and left. Uncle Long saw that it's time to teach the real Kung Fu. And began to teach him to follow. Wearing a shirt needs to be calm, taking off a shirt requires force. And must be focused. In life, picking and wearing a coat is very simple. But it is actually quite elaborate. Elaboration is everywhere in life. The boy was completely captivated. Then Uncle Long took him by train. And then climbed Wudang Mountain where he used to practice martial arts. Everyone here is very good at martial arts. With different styles. The most attractive. There was a woman on a cliff imitating a cobra. Uncle Long explained. Actually, the woman is controlling the snake.
Her mind is as calm as water, she can feel everything.
After going to the Kung Fu school, the boy began to train his physical strength and reaction skills. After a while,
he got muscles.
That day was supposed to be practice. Uncle Long gave him a day off. In the evening, the boy returned, but saw Uncle Long madly smashing the car. New car smashed by hammer. But a few days ago,
he just repaired the car and refurbished it.
But why does
he fix it and then break it again and again?
There was a bottle of wine on the table. It was clear that he had drunk a lot, and made it difficult for others to accept that
his wife and children in a car accident
had died. Only he was left.
He gradually became what he is now.
A person with an unusual personality. When eating noodles, after swatting flies, used chopsticks to pick it up. Then used those chopsticks to eat noodles. That was completely unsanitary. Luckily he has disciples now.
He realized his responsibility.
Under the encouragement of his disciple, Uncle Long got out of the car and wiped away his tears. They started to practice martial arts. Starting the final sprint training. After a few months of training,
he became a martial arts master.
The martial arts match also started. The first time he stood in the ring he was still a little scared. The opponent still did not take action.
He was afraid to back out of the field and lose a point.
In Uncle Long's reminder, the boy mustered up his courage to win the first round. After he calmed down, he showed his full strength. Then overcame all the opponents. The black boy directly entered the semifinals.
He has to face Bon.
Two of them quickly made moves. Bon seized the opportunity to hug his knees and attack. In the end, because he did not talk about martial arts ethics, Bon was disqualified from competing. The black boy injured his leg and was taken to the infirmary. But the final doesn't wait for anyone. The organizers were now ready to announce the winners. In the infirmary he begged Uncle Long to let me continue playing. When life knocks you down, you can choose whether to get up again or not. This saying was said by Uncle Long. He definitely has to go to the ring to prove himself. Uncle Long was touched. Used his traditional treatment to treat him. He went back to the game and used up his courage. Very quickly, both sides made moves.
He knelt down to dodge the attack,
but was eventually knocked to the ground. In the second round he found his chance. A choke with his foot equalized the score. In the third round, the unruly boy took advantage.
He stood up again,
but this time his gaze changed, and used the rooster pose to strike. Used internal attack. In the final move,
he jumped to attack.
As gentle as a pink bird, as flexible as a flying dragon.
He has won,
and has conquered the fear in his heart. Got everyone's cheers, got everyone's approval. Finally, the unruly boy accepted Uncle Long as his master. Unintentional ferocity is not genuine practice. Wise birds should choose good wood to live on. Comma.